YouTube, what's happening? It is Wednesday, May 14th, and we're going to talk about baseball first because one, we got some day games. Two, it is a busy slate. There are 17 games on the slate. We have two doubleheaders happening today between some teams, so you can see all the games there. Busy, busy slate. We're going to break down the spreadsheet, break down the props, and see if we can find some value. But first, let's recap yesterday. In the past 3 days, counting yesterday, we are 19-5 in baseball plays, 7-2, 5-1, and 7-2 yesterday. The only two we got wrong: Toronto money line and Yankees money line first five. Everything else hit. Cleveland hit. The Mets were up 1-0 at the start of the sixth inning. We'll take that. Freeland double play hit. That was nice. Hits and runs. Dude, it's got hot to garbage. Machado hit. The over hit Arizona San Fran, and the A's hit the over by themselves in the A's Dodgers game. So beautiful stuff. If you want the plays typed out in a nice, pretty list, or if you just want access to the spreadsheet so you can do your own research, you got to check out the HQ. Simple as that. So enough of that. We have 17 games. Let's stop wasting time and jump to the first one right now. Okay, and as always, we're going to take a peek at the weather because it matters for some games. Why even waste time if they're going to postpone it? We called two postpones yesterday, and they happened. First off, we have Baltimore 21%. Not really worried about that. Philly 62, but stays in the 50s. Maybe they might postpone that bad boy. Who knows? It's 1 o'clock. I mean, this literally is part of the doubleheader. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. They're going to try to play that no matter what. Cleveland out, nothing really crazy there. Baltimore, same situation. They doubleheader here as well, so we'll see what happens. Nothing in San Fran, nothing in Seattle. Philly 50%. Detroit win, nothing really. Tails off later. The Mets again, disgusting. It's not the best day for weather overall. Everybody has a slight chance. Nothing in Texas, nothing in Houston, San Diego, nothing. LA, wind out 11 again. Might be taking it over again just because of the wind. So there's your weather stuff. So we're going to focus, see what we can happen with these. That's the weather. Let's go ahead and move on to the first games. Now, if you're new here, let me explain something how this works. Let me pop over to the game line so you can see it. I don't play double headers. Some people do. They think, hey, you do what you want. I've explained several times how to do it. I'm going to explain it again in case you're new here. Double headers have too many weird things that happen. They play the same day. The bullpen has a lot. Things are different for double headers. A lot of times the teams will split. One team will win one team will win the other. Weird things happen. Colorado has like 5 wins on the season. 2 of those wins came on doubleheader days. That should tell you a lot right there, how weird it is. So yeah, it messes with, you might get players get rested. So just overall, there's too many dependent variables that we cannot control or even know what's going to happen until they happen. So yeah, it's just smart things to leave them alone. So I do. So that takes out Minnesota, Baltimore, both games, and St. Louis, Philly, both games. So I'm going to show you the doubleheader stuff right now so you can see the lines and everything, what have you. The main thing's a sheet. Here's the Minnesota, Baltimore sheet. This is going to be the same for both games because this stuff updates in the middle of the night. So you can have this one, look at it, see it. There's not much difference here anyway. You can see Minnesota maybe slightly better. 8-game winning streak for the Twins. Damn, that's impressive. Didn't know that. Good stuff. Over 500. Look at them go. And then the other one is St. Louis and Philly. Let's pop over that one too. So here's the St. Louis Philly one as well. Here's that sheet. You can look at the props on your own because that's going to change, especially for game 2. So have fun with that if you're going to play that. Again, both games already have weather concerns as well. So hell, it might get postponed again. Who knows? So if you're going to play either of these, be cautious. Yeah, take all that consideration. I don't play doubleheaders. Add the weather on top. I definitely don't play them. And we're going to pass and move on to the first actual real game right now. Okay, with the first game being not a doubleheader, is going to be Milwaukee and Cleveland. Certainly looks like a pick 'em with an 8 is our total. Let's look at the spreadsheet. We can see Milwaukee is getting worse by the day. They're just not getting better at hitting the ball. They're struggling. We've taken Cleveland back-to-back days now. First was a +1.5. Yesterday was straight up money line, and they were just thankful easy wins because Milwaukee just cannot score runs. They just can't. So we're fading it. It's going nicely. This one, wind's blowing out at 6. A little slight 20-30% chance of rain. Nothing too crazy. Let's go over to Outlier and look at the pitcher props. Today, first off, Outlier, link in the pinned comment. Click it, sign, get you a week for free for all these sports up here. It's a lot of sports they cover now. We're in that weird season where there's a lot of things happening. So today we have Gavin Williams going up against Logan Henderson, and you can see nothing really stands out for Gavin for a prop we want to take, but we will take a look at how they have done earned run wise, because if Gavin can shut down Milwaukee, it's going to be lights out again. So I'll take Cleveland at home for a third game. I don't care. So Logan's only pitched in 1 game this season. So he had 1 earned run. He pitched a whopping 6 innings. That was actually pretty good. And then apparently Milwaukee whooped the A's ass that day on 420. So other than that, so he's pitched one game on 420. He hasn't pitched since. It is May 14th. So that's fun to see. Let's look at the matchup histories. Gavin versus Milwaukee history. We don't have much here. Not much data. Against righties, you see how Milwaukee's done this year. Nothing crazy. And then we go to Cleveland versus righties. You can see their very reduced lineup because of the injuries. That is a nice reduced. Okay, cool. So you can see all the information there. And against Logan, you see how they are doing currently. So nothing there. So I think let's look at Gavin earned runs. What you been up to, buddy? 2025, you're averaging 2.2 earned runs. The other guy has no earned runs for 1 earned run in 6 innings, but you just shut down Philly. You get 2. Any of these teams, Milwaukee at all? No, they're not, aren't they? No. We could take this. What's the weather like? It could pop out. Gavin looks decent at facing somebody who hasn't done much. Only pitch was this 1 game, period. That's it. I think I'm going to take Cleveland again. What's Cleveland? Minus 115 money line? I think I'm going to take it. We're going to continue to fade Milwaukee until they show us they can hit the ball. Like Tampa showed us yesterday, they had some offense. Milwaukee has not showed any signs of life. So we're going to go Cleveland again. Money line at minus 115. Next. All right, next up is Arizona and San Francisco. Currently, where is it at? I just synced it. There it is. Pick them with an 8.5 total. Let's look at the sheet and let's see. Arizona, San Fran. What's the weather? It's blowing out 13. Look at this. Look at this weather. 13 out. Yeah, we took the over yesterday because of the wind. We might be doing it again. So spreadsheet. Both offenses doing decent enough to help hit that over. It's 8.5 today. 7.5 yesterday was a gift. And then and then we got Jordan Hicks pitching today. Ooh, and Eduardo. Oh my God. Both are giving up earned runs 4 out of 5. Somebody just needs to be bad. If both these dudes hit their line of 3, that's 6 runs on an 8.5 already. Bro, over. We're done. Like, I mean, we're not taking anything else. We're going to take the over, but we will look at both. Jordan Hicks hits is always good too. Strikeouts is actually good for him as well. Sam Fran is 20th in strikeouts, so you could take that, but I'm taking over. I'm telling you right now, I'm going over. So he's averaging 3.88 earned runs this season is Eduardo. And we look at Hicks earned runs. He is averaging 3.7 earned runs. I don't know about you, but 3.7 plus 3.8 comes out to 7.5. Math. I'm a business major, not a math major. So yeah, so you can see how they have done. They ain't done too well, have they? So now they're facing above average bats, below average pitching, wind going out 13 miles an hour. We're done. Let's show the matchup real quick just to see. Hicks looks amazing in his one potential 2 games he faced, but this year he is not good. Against righties, you can see how Arizona's done this season. San Fran versus lefties, see how they've done this season. And then San Fran versus Eduardo, 514 at bats. Damn, that's crazy. So yeah, there you go. Have fun with all that. I'm going to stick with the numbers. I'm going to stick with the total. We're going over 8.5 next. All right, moving on. The Yankees in Seattle are up next. Currently, it's slightly to New York. They got us on the money line yesterday, them bastards. 8 is our total. Spreadsheet-wise, the Yankees are slowly starting to fall off. They had a bunch of 1s up there, but they have 1s and 2s. You can see they're slowly falling off in some of these categories. So, in Seattle is not doing good with the bats either. What was that final score yesterday? Like 2-1? It was something crazy. I know with the extras. I know Seattle won. So, man, so there's no weather to worry about because it's Seattle. We look over at the props. We get rid of these hilarious pitchers, and we bring up this game. Who do we have in this game? Yankees and Mariners. We got Luis Castillo versus Will Warren. Okay, nothing standing out because we would have some green in the last 5 or 10. Nothing there for us. So let's look at Castillo. Just look at the histories for both pitchers. Matchup, Castillo versus Yankees. 2-11 and 19 at bats. 0 for 9 for Grisham. Damn. Judge has 2 for 5 with a home run off him, so that's something. Whoa, Goldie has 3 home runs, but it is 37 at bats, so that's basically 1 every 11 at bats. Yeah, nothing that crazy. So nothing standing out really here against righties. You see how Yankees have done this season. And Seattle, you can see Seattle versus righties and Seattle versus Will Warren. No data. So, I mean, yeah, I lean New York because of the bats. Yeah. How have you been doing? That's the main question. This season, you're 5.25 hits per game, and you shut down Miami and Texas. Not bad. Earned runs, 5 against Toronto. You were an elevator, good sir. Up and down is all you are. You're nothing in the between. So I'm not liking this. Yankees pissed me off yesterday. I'm going to ban them from. They're grounded. They're grounded for the weekend. Sorry, you can't go out and play. I'm going to ban you to next week. We're going to pass next. All right, moving on. Boston and Detroit. Detroit is currently a 210 favorite over the Red Sox with a 7 total. Interesting. Let's look at this. Yeah, makes sense. Detroit's number 1 in runs at 7.4 last 10 games. 4th in hits, 4th in average, 4th in OBP, 2nd in slugging, 3rd in OPS. The numbers there. They're doing great. Boston, average, mostly average, I would say. Nothing too crazy. Detroit's at home. They have a 2-game streak. Let's look at who's pitching. That matters a lot. Oh, it's a Scooble day. Scooble strikeouts over 7.5, 80%. And what does Boston, you dare ask? Well, there they are. 8.9, 9.3 on the road, 9.1 on the whole season. So you can see they are just statistically a bottom 10 strikeout team. That's where they were last year. They were bottom 5 actually last season. So that's just what Boston does. They strike out a bunch. So you can still be good and strike out. It's just, yeah, good luck facing strikeout pitchers like Scooble, who we can just take strikeout props and just cash nicely. So 11, 12, 8. Everything's pointing at him. He's at home. He's facing Boston, who strikes out a ton, and he's been striking out a lot of people recently. So I don't know why I wouldn't take this. He's averaging 7.5 on the season. His number's 7.5, but that 2's doing a lot of heavy lifting. If we go just last 5, he's averaging 8.8. That's beautiful. We love that. Let's look at the history he has against him. History, home run there. Not much strikeouts. It could be worse. I'm taking this. Everything's, yeah. If he's averaged 8.8, yeah, he did 4 against KC. KC, remember, doesn't strike out much. We talk about this every time it comes up. You don't take strikeout props against KC. They're number 1 right now, probably. When we get to KC, I'll show you. Texas strikes out average. He struck out 12 of them. Angels are Baltimore strikes out a bunch at this point. We knew Milwaukee. So yeah, we're going to take Scooble 7.5 next. All right, moving on. Tampa and Toronto. Toronto got us good yesterday. That was a fun game. Believe it or not, I know most of us bet Toronto and we lost, but Tampa took the lead. Toronto took it back, and then that one dude in 0.1 inning gave up 5 runs. Like, bro, what? They should have pulled him sooner, but no. Then Tampa's dude gave up a couple runs, but they were smart. They pulled him out of the game. So 11-9 final. Crazy. Love getting games like that. Currently today is -158 Toronto with an 8 total. Go to the sheet. We see the bats are still doing great. Tampa has some life in their bats finally, so they're moving up in the average a little bit. Toronto is staying in the top 5 because that's where they were. Nothing crazy overall. Let's look at the pitchers. Goodbye, Scooble. I wish I could bet you every game, but I can't. So let's go down here. Who we got? Oh, we got Pepio versus Curtis Atasca. It's time for Chris Bassett. All right. Let's see. We got earned runs over. Against Tampa? No. Tampa is 20th in runs, 22nd in hits, 21st RBIs in the last 10. Not a chance. Pepio outs are banned. I just show him because some people want to see him. Pepio walks against Toronto. Toronto is 5th in walks at 3.7 in the last 10. They do over 3 all season, so this could be a good play. Let's open that one. And then Bassett over hits allowed against Tampa, which is a no because they're 22nd in hits. So only one we can even entertain is going to be the walks. And you can see what he's done in the last 10. And you can see what he's done in 2025. He's averaging 2 on the dot. The line's 1.5. I prefer this to be closer to 2.5 on the average if I'm doing this. So I'll probably lay off. But we'll look at the histories. Bassett, low as 3 home runs and 11 at-bats against this dude. That's not good. That's a lot. That's a lot. Oh, bro. Oh, brother. This guy stinks. Let's see. That's the righties. Let's see Toronto versus righties. There's them as well. And then not much data either. So what's Brandon Lowe's numbers? Let's go over here and bring up Lowe. I really don't want it. Unless he's like popping off, I really don't want to take it. But then again, hey, I'm down. We have a lot of green here. And we got Aranda who hit a home run yesterday. He had a great matchup against the pitcher. It worked out nicely. Lowe, however you say it. It looks like Lowe's. I'm gonna call him Lowe. So you can go do some shopping. Go get some building supplies. Let's see. Clement, Springer, Bichette, Jones. No, where the hell is you at? I'm gonna find you this way. This way. How you been doing? Oh, you're not doing too good sir. You have a great matchup, but I can't take you. Sorry. So yeah, I think the smart thing to do is, yeah, I lean Toronto, but I don't trust Bassett. I just don't. I don't trust Papio either. So we're gonna pass on this one and move on to the next one. All right, moving on to Pittsburgh and the New York Mets. And we took the Mets yesterday, money line, or actually half in the first 5 innings, and they were up 1-0 start the 6th inning. And then they immediately got tied 1-1. So, hey, a win's a win. We take it. It don't matter what it is. So, good stuff. Today, we're looking at Mets 290. Damn, that's a lot. Senga ain't pitching today. He pitched yesterday. 8 is the total. Let's look at the sheet. What we got? Pittsburgh not doing good. 1.8 runs per game in the last 10. That is the epitome of sadness. That's not good. That's terrible. Ugh. Let's look at the props. Mets clearly were leading. 1, they're at home. 2, they're crushing the bats versus Pittsburgh. That's a big gap. Let's look over here. Falter versus Clay Holmes. That's a lot of yellow, orange, whatever you want to call it. Look at that. Ugh. Ugh. Not the best. Not good. Falter, how you been doing with earned runs, buddy? Because if you've shut down Atlanta and San Diego 2 games, that's pretty impressive, actually. But the 5 against the Dodgers. Let's look at the history. Holmes versus Pittsburgh. A little bit there's a home run for McCutcheon of all people. Nothing standing out. Against righties, there you go. Against lefties, there's the Mets. Falter against Mets. Falter 429, 374, 417 for Nimmo with a home run. Marte has a home run, 333, 330. They have success against Falter. The bats are doing good. They have some success against the pitcher. They're at home. They're on a 3-game winning streak. And then the fade it. Pittsburgh's doing awful. Their pitcher has a bad history. Yeah, we're taking the Mets on the money line again. I know. I've been taking them a lot. And guess what? They keep winning. So, hey, I'll keep doing it. So, Mets money line. What was that? Oh, sorry. No. 290? I forgot they were 290. Not a chance in hell I'm taking that. No. Mets 1.5? Maybe. I might do that. Or do we just fade Bailey Falter? That's the next question. So let's go back to Falter. He's been doing good run-wise. I'm a little concerned. Here. So would I throw the Mets in a money line parlay? Yeah, I would. I would feel safe enough to do that, but am I going to bet them 290 in money line? No, that's too much risk for not enough reward there. 1.5 for 134 with Falter doing this pretty good. What's Clay Holmes been up to in his 2 starts? Let's take a little peek ski over there, shall we? Earned runs 2025. You've been pretty decent too. 1.63. What is Falter? 2.63. Hell, you're better than Falter actually. So you get the better pitcher too. You know what? This is going to be a little risky. If you don't want to do it, I understand completely. So you see all the numbers, we see all those. I'm going to take the Mets 1.5. Little bit of a risk. Try to get a little bit better numbers. So we'll take that. We're going to go NYM minus 1.5 on the run line. Everything leans Mets, which means they'll probably lose. But hey, it's Pittsburgh. They're not good. I just said Pittsburgh. I did not mean to say that, but hell, that's what they are. So we're going to go with that. We're taking the Mets run line next. All right, moving on to the Chicago White Sox and the Cincinnati Reds. Currently, it is 225 Cincy with an 8.5 total. Spreadsheet says a different story. White Sox are, I believe I saw on Twitter, the White Sox are 3-1 since it was found that the Pope is a White Sox fan. That's wild. I mean, there's some things as coincidences in the world. That might just be one of the wildest ones. Like, they literally are just playing amazing because, well, the Pope's on their side. So there you go. They're 1-2 already on a 2-game streak, which is the first streak they've had this season, I do believe. I could be wrong. But their bats are not good. Cincy's bats are not either. Both teams are not good with the bats. Both teams strike out a ton. So let's see who the pitchers are. Let's see what we got. Davis Martin's going out there, 5.5 hits allowed against a team who is 26 in hits at 6.7 per game. Nope, not taking that. Any unders potentially? Davis Martin walks. No, I'm not feeling that. The rest is in yellow. We want red and green. So we don't want yellow. Is terrible for this. We want red and green on everything we see. Red and green. Let's look at this. Let's look at both of them. We might potentially entertain a Nerfy. We haven't done a Nerfy in a while. No runs, first inning for those who are unaware what that means. We want the second inning to start 0-0. So let's see if we can rock with that. Earned runs. What you looking at, Mr. Martin? 2025, 2.7 is not good. I prefer somebody to a low 2, but hey. Ooh, this is not good. Yeah, we're going to kick that Nerfy idea right to the curb where it belongs. Ugh, man. What is this? What is this? What is this? What are those? No. No. Let me show you all this. This is a garbage game. Man, I'm gonna put this on the curb Tuesday so it can get picked up by the city. That's where this game belongs. That game belongs in a dumpster somewhere, just rotting away. That's what this is. Just disgusting of a game. Since he should win, but they lost two now. And I mean, they ain't got the Pope, so pass. Next. All right, moving on to Washington and Atlanta, the Bravos. And we can see currently, if we come over here, 165 Atlanta with a 9 total spreadsheet. We see Washington's doing better, even though Washington had the lead yesterday for a bit. I saw, but then they lost, obviously, because it's a 7-game losing streak for Washington. Good job, guys. Good job. Good work. Earning those paychecks out there. Let's look who's pitching today. Bryce Elder and Mitchell Palka. A lot of yellow. Again, doesn't help us. Elder under 5.5 hits, his hit in 4 out of 5. That's what that means if you see a 20%. Elder walks, though. Neither team nothing stands out. Washington is 4th in strikeouts again. Remember when they were like, they've been number 1 for a while, then they would drop immediately to 30, and then they're back up to the 4 again, because Washington is very just, yeah, when it comes to strikeouts. I don't know why. They just are. So let's see. Elder walks. Atlanta is 21st in walks. Nope. Not Atlanta. Washington is 17th in walks. There we go. Elder 2.5 earned runs. Washington is 20th in runs at 4 games. So that's a no. This game nothing's really standing out so far. Let's look at the matchup real quick so I can show you. Elder versus Washington. Anything there for us? Not looking like it. Against righties. There you go for the people that want to see that data. And there's Atlanta versus lefties. There you go. Atlanta is not the best. Against Parker, history, no home runs, nothing standing out. I don't like this game. There's nothing about this I like. Nothing stands out. Everything's just kind of too much mustard. Pass. Next. Moving to Miami and Chicago, the Cubs. Currently, it's 215 Cubs with a 7.5 total. Let's look over at the spreadsheet, and you can see both teams are struggling with the bats. They're both struggling. They don't strike out much. They're average, but the actual hitting part, the part that you're supposed to be good at, yeah, 200 and 221 ain't gonna get the job done. That's why you're 3-7, you're 5-5. Simple as that. Easy math there. Pitchers: Ryan Weathers versus Jameson Taillon. There are the pitchers. Weathers' strikeouts was good, 7 out of 10. Outs, 13.5 outs. That's it, brother. That's not good. Weathers' walks, 0% over. Why is it 2.5? That's crazy. Why is it plus 140? What? Chicago walks is 12th at 3.4, so I'm not taking that. Let's see. Anything else stand out here? No. Let's just open some pictures and see what we got under the hood. Pop the hood. Let's see. Italian versus Miami. Not much. There's nothing there really. Miami versus righties. Chicago versus lefties. Weathers. We got some green, but not much. Nothing's really truly there. So, how you been earned runs this season, or last 10? Hell, you haven't even pitched this season. That's right. So, all right. So this is Weathers' first game of the season. First game since September 24. So, first game of the season. Welcome over. Let's see what happens. You're facing Chicago, who is not good offensively. So that's a great place for you to start. And then what have you done this season? Well, you gave up 5 in your last game against the Mets, and you were averaging 2.75 earned runs. You ain't that good, buddy. You're not good. So we have a pitcher who this season's not good, a pitcher who's not pitched yet this season, even though it's May. He hasn't pitched in September, and 2 bats that can't hit anything. So yeah, under, could be over. Pass. Next. All right, Colorado and Texas now. We took a double fade of Freeland yesterday, and that was beautiful. Hits and earned runs both went over. Earned runs went over in the first inning. Hits took a few more innings, but it ended up working, so beautiful. Let's see. I don't like doubling up like that, but sometimes the numbers are just so good, you got to risk it for the biscuit, right? So today, Texas 229 is our total. Let's look. A lot of mustard and ketchup. Not much relish out there, so I prefer a lot of ketchup and relish. We don't need no mustard. But it has a 4-game winning streak, 2-game streak, 1-9 last 10, 7-35 is ridiculous. Let's look at who's pitching. Oh, it's Antonio Senzatella. Oh, one of my favorite pitchers. Yes. Do we double up again? Dude is a hit allowed machine. He produces more hits than, oh man, pick a record label, because he produces hits. So look at all these hits. Man, dude is a hit factory. Then that's what I call a hit volume 7. That's it right there. 5.5. Why? Why is it so low? What do you know? This should be 6.5. 7.7 in the last 10. This season's is 8.25. I mean, come on. Dude's eventually going to have a good game. I know he is. He's not a bad pitcher, but he hasn't had one yet, so I'll keep betting it. I bet this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. I know I did. So if you've been here, you've been betting him too, probably. So we're gonna take his hits, but we'll look around. Patrick Corbin's going out there too. Okay, we gotta talk about Patrick Corbin for a minute. Patrick Corbin in Washington was a mess. Dude was just awful. Patrick Corbin in Texas, though, is a pretty damn good pitcher, is he not? Look at that. This is his whole season. 3-1, 2-2, 1-2. I have faded half of these and been wrong every time. Hits, I think I might have cashed one of these hits, but yeah, he's been on his game. So Patrick Corbin, no longer being faded. Can't do it. So, but since to tell you, yeah, we're going to fade him. Let me see. Corbin history versus Rockies. There you go. If you want to see it, I'm not fading Patrick Corbin. No, I have apologized to the man. Washington Patrick Corbin's dead. Texas Corbin, beast. Said it. I don't care. Hell, he might be one of their best pitchers. So let's see. Hunter Goodman, 3 home runs. Huh? Interesting. Texas versus righties. Texas versus Centennial. 143 is green. Hilarious. But there's a home run. Nice. All right. You know what we got to do. I don't know why we're wasting time. We gotta go Centennial over 5.5 hits allowed. I'm not gonna take the earned runs though, because he's had some games where he's actually not giving up the runs. But I mean, he does give up the hits regardless. Look at that, 9 and 10 hits, right? Not a damn earned run. That's crazy. So yeah, he just pitches better when the pressure's on. That's all it is. So we're gonna take him on his hits allowed over 5.5 next. All right, next game we got Kansas City and Houston going up against each other. We have a 135 Houston with an 8.5 total. We see the sheet. Both teams doing pretty good offensively. Houston's at home, a little bit better for Houston. Let's look at the pitchers. On the prop side, we have Lorenzen going out there for KC, which nothing really stands out. Houston's missing a pitcher. Who was Houston sending out? Well, let me show you. It's his Colton Gordon, who has no stats. He has no game log. Welcome to the majors. You're 26. You're a lefty from St. Pete. That's all we know. So, and he's 6'4", 225. Cool. So, welcome to the majors. If you're new here, we like to fade the major league debuts or season debuts for a minor leaguer. Either way, dude's been called up. It's his time to shine. He has no stats. Time to fade. So, we go to the sheets. Casey has the offense to fade. I would trust us to fade. Houston also has the offense to go against Lorenzen. So, actually, we need to see how Lorenzen's doing mainly. Lorenzen, show us, buddy, what you got for us. 2025 earned runs. Shut out Boston last time. You're giving up 2.25 earned runs this season on average. Last 5, you're at 2.2. That's okay. It's not bad. Let's look at here. Yeah, Gordon, nothing, obviously. Lefties. Yeah, there you go. And then you can see Houston, righties, Lorenzen, stats, couple home runs, not much data. Yeah, good stuff overall. Surprise, Gordon has no stats. Love that. We're gonna fade it. Don't care. So we're gonna take KC money line most likely, or I can't even get a problem on Houston. So yeah, it's got to be. So it's gonna be KC money line at 120, KC plus 1.5, maybe at 172, a little bit juicier, but plus 1.5. Yeah, we could take that. We could take the over because both offenses are good, but Lorenzen's been kind of decent. But Lorenzen has been blown up twice in the last 5 games. 5 to Baltimore and 4 to Detroit. Could be a thing. You know what? I'm thinking the over. I'm thinking it. I think I'm going to go for it. Based on these offenses and based on seeing Lorenzen's 2 games here, yeah, he does good sometimes. Bad offense, bad offense, bad offense currently. Yeah, gave up here. Facing a good offense, yeah, let's go over. We're gonna fade both pitchers and trust the offenses. So we're gonna go over 8.5 for that plus 100. Yeah, plus 100. Yeah, we'll take that next. And also, I decided to do a little bit of work. He was an 8th round pick out of UCF in 2021. Last season, he went 8-2 to 3.94 in 25 games because 123 innings, striking out 124 batters, basically 1 per inning, 238 opponent average. Yeah, cool. To this season, he's 4-0 with a 2.55 and a 1.2 whip and 8 starts in AAA Sugarland. There's your stats on him. So he is making his debut, Major League. So, and we fade those around here. So we're still taking that over. Nothing's changing. Let's move on to the actual game now. The next game is going to be, who is it? LA and San Diego. I take Machado twice in a row now, back to back, because Machado's on a hell of a HRR streak. Let's see if it stays today. 184 San Diego, 8.5. Look at the sheet. There you go. There you go. If you want to see that, I can get rid of all that. San Diego's offense still doing good. Are doing well, obviously. Nothing really stands out here. The Angels are doing better. They're doing better. They're slowly kind of creep out that 20 range. I don't know if they will, but they're trying. Let's go to props. Lorenzo, I'm done with you. Go away. There we go. Who's pitching? Randy Vasquez and Kyle Hendricks. Both over walks allowed for both of them. San Diego's 7th in walks at 3.6. Last 10, Angels are 15th at 3.2. So you could take that. Hits allowed. Angels are 22nd in hits at 7.4. I know it's 100%, but nah, I ain't taking that. Main thing, I'm going to come over here and look for my last 2 San Diego plays. Machado, 100%, 100%, HRR. I just need to see what your history is against the dude. Look at this. Last 10. You want to see last 20? Look at that streak he's got going. Amazing. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 game streak. 15 game streak if you count the 3 hits here. So, but HRR is beautiful overall. He had 1 hit and 1 run yesterday. Love that. Yeah, let's go look at the history of the pitchers. That's the main thing I care about here. Because I'm going to keep riding Machado until he doesn't pay me. So, you know what I'm saying? So, here's Vasquez versus the Angels history. And then you got righties versus them. Don't care. San Diego versus righties. That was Machado. Where you at? Where's he at? 321. No home runs versus righties. Really? That's weird. Against Kyle Hendricks, 450 with no home runs and a 9.5, but 450 and 20 at bats. Yeah, sign me up for a couple bloop singles, maybe a double in there, a double with a run the next batter. Yeah, that's what I'm going for right there. Love that. We're going right back to it. Machado. What is the Machado prop looking like today? 160 on a 1.5? Sure, I'll pay it. I mean, sure, why not? I don't care. You keep throwing it to me, I'll keep pitching it, you know? You pitch it, I swing. Okay, Machado, over 1.5 HRR, next. All right, last game is going to be A's and Doyas, and currently it is 250 Dodgers with a 8.5 total. Spreadsheet, look at the numbers. Both bats crushing. Number 1 and 2 in batting average at 294 and 293. That's good as a team. Slugging, 5th and 1st. OPS, 5th and 1st. Both tied at first with hits at 10.7. That's amazing. First and fourth doubles, RBIs, everything's looking amazing. Great stuff overall. So that is your offense. Then on top of it, remember the weather. Remember the weather. Blowing out at 11, 66, no rain. Good stuff. Over is 8.5, you say. I took the over 9.5 yesterday, and they hit 12 runs, thanks to the A's. So let's look at who's pitching today. That matters a lot in this one. So let's swap over to the A's Doyas. Thank you. We have Yamamoto, who was not good his last time out, versus Gunnar Hoglund, who we faded on hits allowed, and it cashed for us. So we're going to look at both these dudes and see how... now, Yamamoto got rocked last game, I do believe. 2025. Wait. No, that's Gunnar. I was like, wait a minute. He didn't get rocked. Yamamoto got rocked. Here we go. Yeah, he got rocked good. 5 earned runs. He'd been good for so long. You knew it was bound to happen eventually. There it was, 5 earned. His hits was up there at 6. So he's a good pitcher, but he had a really bad day. And I wonder, it could be an injury. It could just be a bad day. I mean, he had a perfect matchup, and Arizona said, I don't care. So here we go. Yamamoto versus A's, 0 for 2, nothing there. Righties, you can see how they do. Doyas against righties, see how they do. They never face Hoglund because Hoglund just got called up. So no data for there. So if we take the over, we're going against this history. He's only averaging 1.2 on the season. That's including these 5 runs. On the season, he's 1.13. 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and then 5. Is the 5 an outlier, or is 5 okay, something's wrong with you? We don't know. And then Gunnar has pitched in 2 games now, actually, May 2nd and 7th. We look at earned runs, 1 and 2. We look at hits. There's the hits. He was at 4.5, I believe. I think we got 5 here, so he barely hit for us. But hey, a win's a win. We take them. So 5.5 hits allowed here. I think part of me doesn't want to take a play against Yamamoto because I think he's more of this and not this. I think this was an outlier. An outlier. So I'm gonna say he's this still. I know the A's bats are really good, but I think we want to keep fading Hoglund. So, and today his earned runs are 2.5 minus 145. That tells you a lot. Lot. So I think Hoglund is going to give up some runs against the Dodgers, and I can see that the Dodgers lost yesterday. They got their ass kicked yesterday. So give me a fade of Hoglund again. over 2.5 earned runs. Just something's telling me to take over earned runs. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Why not, right? So over 2.5 earned runs. You could take hits if you wanted, but I have a feeling we're gonna see something like an Ohtani home run or something crazy happen today. So especially like the numbers are good. I do like the over, but Yamamoto might shut the A's down. That is a very real possibility. I don't see Hoglund shutting the Dodgers down, not with these numbers. Dodgers got shut down yesterday. I don't see it happening 2 days in a row. So give me Hoglund over 2.5, and we're going to end it there. That gives me 8 plays on the day on a 17-game slate, which is crazy. So let's look at the schedule itself. Tomorrow is Thursday. It is a it's a 6-game slate. I will have this video up for you. I might do this video tonight because there's only 6 of them. So I appreciate being here. Drop a like, subscribe. We're trying to get to 20K here. We're at 19 now. Trying to get to 20. We're trying to grow. So if you could subscribe, that helps me a lot. Drop a comment, drop anything. Engagement helps too. Go check out the HQ if you want the plays typed out or access the spreadsheet. Let me know what you're playing in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow on Thursday for a very small slate of MLB.